Hey guys, so for this video I'm gonna show you how to create the perfect first date makeup look slash my take on the perfect first date makeup look, which really is just like the perfect evening look, whether you're going out with friends and you just wanted to keep it super natural and simple to accentuate your finest features, but nothing overly dramatic, which is what I think most people want to wear on a first date. They don't want to necessarily look like they're wearing tons of makeup, more just things that accentuate their finest features, whether it be their eyes or their lips or their cheeks or whatever you want to accentuate on your first date. So naturally, I'm going to start with complexion. I already kind of did my brows, so that's over and done with. First thing I'm gonna do is hydrate my skin. I love this Avène Light Hydrating Moisturizer. I have super sensitive skin. I can't use anything that has too many chemicals. This is my go-to when my skin starts to act up and I need to really just calm it down. I kind of just use this all over my face, pat it in. And then I know this is a lip mask, but I use this as a lip balm every morning before I use anything on my lips. It's just the most beautiful lip treatment, and it gives you a really nice lip gloss finish. It's actually amazing, especially in the winter when you get super dry lips. I find that nothing helps. Like, not even Vaseline could help me from like these really like flaky dry lips, and I find that this Neige lip sleeping mask is the only thing that brings my lips back to life. And it doesn't, like, I find that some lip treatments, they like stick to your lips and then it's almost like your lip absorbs it too quickly and then you have to keep reapplying, whereas this you can keep on for quite a bit. Okay, so next I'm using this TERRA Smoothing and Brightening Under Eye Cream to really brighten the under eyes, especially if you're going in with concealer. You want to make sure that it's nice and hydrated under there. You really just need a little bit. I find that I'm like literally tapping for years under when I put under eye cream. It's like it never blends, especially because I've always been used to swiping under my eyes, but they say that that's not a good way to apply your under eye cream because then you can create wrinkles. Like, you're never supposed to tug on your skin. You're only supposed to tap. Then when you tap, I'm like, oh my god, this is taking so long. It takes me like 20 minutes just to blend in my under eye cream. I'll be down in 20, just blending my under eye cream. This is good. Next, I'm gonna go in with our tinted blur stick in the shade Light 3. I'm just going to use this in spot areas. I mean, who am I to say, but like typically, I mean, from what I hear, I don't really go on dates because I have a boyfriend. But if you do go on dates, then most women or girls that I speak to like to look very au naturel. Like, I just woke up like this type of look. So when it comes to complexion and foundation, you can use like a really light foundation, or I love our tinted blur stick because it provides you with really beautiful coverage, but yet it doesn't look heavy or cakey, and it blurs pores and wrinkles and just gives you really nice luminosity to the skin. If you have any redness or blemishes, just kind of apply it all over the face. You can either blend with your fingers or a brush. Also, after you apply your eye cream, try not to apply anything under the eyes for like a good 2 minutes after you apply, so that it really lets the eye cream sink in. I just kind of like to pat everything in with my fingers after I apply because I find that it gives it more of a skin-like finish because the warmth from your fingers really melts in the product. Next, to give a little bit more coverage, because let's be real, we want to look natural but still want to cover those dark spots and, you know, under eye circles. You want to look brightened and awake. So I'm going in with our Nudestix concealer pencil, and I'm going to use this right underneath the eye area. Not too much, I'm just using it in the inner corners, a little bit around the nose area, and a little bit right on the chin, blemishes here, to keep my skin still looking really fresh and natural, but flawless. Because we still want to look flawless, but we want to look natural at the same time. Then you can either go in with a brush. I personally love using concealer. I love blending concealer with my fingers because I find that it just really melts into the skin. Like, the last thing you want when you wear concealer or like a lighter shade of concealer is like when you take a flash photo and you get just like these white lines or like these big white circles underneath your eye. You still want it to blend into your skin really nicely, which is why I love using my fingers, because I find that it gives it a more natural finish. You just blend it in by patting it under your eye and taking kind of like the leftovers and swiping it down towards your cheek so that then everything just blends in cohesively. Big word for you, Tay-Tay. And then continuing just to blend. And if you don't want to blend with your finger, you can also go in with a brush, or you can go in with a smaller brush for smaller spot areas. By the way, this is our Nudestix Fluff and Buff brush that will be available on nudestix.com, so stay tuned. You always want to make sure that you blend it into your neck as well, because you want to make sure that everything's even. You don't have like a ring around the neckline when you go on your date. Also, I did my brows already, but like typically for my brows, I like to keep them looking natural and fluffy. That's just how I like to do my brows, but you can again do anything your heart desires. It's really your call. And then I'm gonna create a really bronzy skin look, because I just think bronzed, I mean, at least for me, because I'm fair most of the year / winter, I find that I just love looking bronzed and glowy. So I tend to gravitate towards bronzer for any like type of like event or night out or dinner or date. First date or date with your significant other. So I'm going in with our Nudies matte in the shade Bondi Bay. And I'm obsessed with this because if you're my skin tone or maybe even a little bit deeper or lighter, you can really get away with this because it just gives you the most natural looking bronzed effect. It's not too ashy, it's not too warm, it's not too cool. I kind of like to swipe it here. I like to apply a little bit here, a little bit on my nose. This side might be a little bit, it's like a lot of product I just applied. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna blend the shit. We're gonna blend the beep out of this. You just kind of want to pat it in. So you can go in with a brush or a beauty blender, whatever you prefer. And I'm just swiping it upwards because I want to just look really nice and sun-kissed. And I like to take that product and swipe it up into my temple and into my hairline because we want it to look like we did just go to the beach. I don't typically swipe it down because then it could look muddy, so I like to keep it in this specific area. And then I'll go back in with Tinted Blur right underneath if I do want to kind of make sure that. And then with my finger, I like to blend out the edges because I don't want there to be any harsh or defined lines. I want the product to really melt into my skin. Again, like I want this to be really natural looking. And then on the nose, just kind of like blending it out with my finger. I find that it looks more natural when you buff it into the skin. Try not to swipe because then you're not necessarily blending it, you're just moving it to a different place. I like to swipe it if I want to distribute the product. So like if I want to distribute the product towards my cheeks, I'll swipe it. But if I really just want to blend it in that specific area, then I just continue to buff it in. And here, taking the remainder from the brush and just kind of swiping it on my forehead. And then I'll go in with my finger and kind of swipe upwards to blend out any harsh lines. So it might look like somewhat, here I have a lot of patches, like freckle patches. So it's not that it doesn't look even, it's just that my freckling kind of gets in the way. And then I do like to take a little bit of Bondi Bay and just place that in my... By the way, first dates are actually the worst. Like there's nothing fun about. No one really likes dating. I feel like it's kind of just like a rite of passage. To get to point B or point C or point D. But just not fun. And I also feel like dating is so different than what it used to be. Like I feel like when my parents, in my parents' generation, when they dated, it was so nice. And like, I remember my dad, when he first laid eyes on my mom, like left her like a handwritten note at the restaurant and like left his number, and it was so romantic, and like would take her on all these like beautiful kind of scenic dates. Now like our generation, it's just like swipe right, Tinder, Bumble. There's no romance anymore. If my boyfriend's watching this video, he's gonna be laughing at me. He doesn't really watch my YouTube videos, so it's fine, but quite funny. And then it's like, oh my god, like what do I wear? Like you end up never finding anything in your closet. It's just a disaster. And then you always need like that one friend who can, save the day if it's a really bad date. I've actually never personally been on a blind date, but what if it just goes terribly? Like you need someone to get you out of that. Like have like a fake emergency ready and make sure that you have a code word, text it, and you're out the door. I feel like it's such a movie thing. By the way, there's nothing wrong with online dating. I did not want that to come across. Like, I know a lot of people who met their significant others online or through apps or whatnot. I think that's great if you can do that. I think it's super cool, especially if you live a really busy life and you're traveling all the time and you don't have time to go out for drinks or go out to meet anyone in your area, then 100% you should do it. I think that's what's so cool about technology. But I mean, I just think that it's like funny how much it's changed in the past like 15, 20 years, as my grandparents would say. All right, so next I'm going to do my eyes. A lot of people a lot of YouTube videos that I watch, sometimes they do their eye first, sometimes they do their complexion first. Because I'm going for a little bit more of a natural eye, I'm gonna do my eye after my complexion, but whatever works for you. So I'm using our magnetic eye color. I'm going to start with the shade TERRA, which is the perfect neutral tone to place in the crease. I find that it just defines the eye really beautifully, and yeah, it's just really natural looking. Before I do that, I'm just gonna use this brush. Okay, this brush is amazing. It's Real Techniques. And I use this like after I blend things, and it kind of just buffs everything together and melts it into the skin, or just blends it into the skin. And I also just love the way it feels. I feel like an artist when I use this, because whenever I watch like Katie Jane Hughes or like these Instagram makeup artists, I'm just like, ooh, that looks nice. Now I'm going in with our magnetic matte eye color in the shade TERRA, and I'm going to place this right in my crease. I love to accentuate my eyes. And I don't love wearing so much eyeshadow, but I love when my eyes look like they pop. So if you can see this eye versus this eye just looks a little bit more defined. Also just adds a little bit more of like a bronzy effect. I love this color. It's also the perfect eyeshadow base if you are going in with like more of a dramatic eyeshadow. I literally just place it right in the crease. And then if you want to smoke out the look, you can place a little bit right underneath the eye and just connect it to the outer corner. This is my favorite color. I love it so much. You could also wear it in the waterline. Real pretty. Really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. And then I'm going to use a Luminous eye color in the shade Nudity, which is a really beautiful rose gold. I love this because I like to sheer it out for a really nice natural luminous eyeshadow look. Really, really flattering on all eye colors. I just bring it up right into the crease. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to take a little bit of Twilight, which is a really nice kind of luminous taupe. I'm just going to place that right in the center. And then I'm going to take our Nudies matte in the shade in the nude, and I'm just going to apply this to my cheeks, a little bit of my chin, a little bit of my forehead. As I said before, I just love looking really bronzed. And I find that this blush, it's a little bit more like a peachy, warm blush. And I love placing it all over the face because then everything just looks really monochromatic. And then I actually take a little bit and place it in the outer corners of my eye. Okay, next I'm going to take our Nudies Glow in the shade Hey Honey, and I'm just gonna take a little bit with my finger and smile, place it on my upper cheekbone. I like to take a little bit and place it on my eyelids. And then it just makes it kind of more deconstructed and gives you like a nice wet finish on the lid. And then I'll take a little bit. Should probably wipe your finger after you place it on the eye and apply. I love when my makeup never looks too perfect. I like when it looks more like deconstructed and you don't really see any defined or harsh lines, if you know what I mean. I'll take a little bit. Hey, honey. I like to focus it on the apples of my cheek because when you smile, it just kind of pops. And I love to place the highlighter in the inner corners as well because that will make your eyes pop, especially if you're going out for dinner and you don't have much lighting. You have like just like little like dim lighting, but you can still see that there's like a nice luminosity in the center or in the inner corners. For any date, whether it's a first date, a second date, you've been dating, if you're with your significant other, your wife, your husband, I love when my lips just look really natural and kind of like plump. So I love to line my lips because that will really define the edges and create like a fuller looking lip. So I'm gonna take our magnetic matte lip color in the shade Rose. And then I'm taking our gel color Balm in the shade Posh, which has a little bit of a metallic finish to give me that kind of like lip plumping effect. This is actually the same shade that Mary Phillips used on Kendall Jenner for the People's Choice Award. So this is the final look. Really easy, quick date makeup. I love when I accentuate my eyes, so I added a really nice kind of natural crease color, a little bit of luminosity to the center, to the inner corners. I bronzed my skin because I find that I feel my best when I look bronzed and glowy, so a little bit of highlight. And I love a good kind of glossy nude lip. And also the liner that I used is all day wear and eat proof and kiss proof. Don't have to worry about your lipstick coming off, which is great. Also, to finish off this look, you can definitely add little jewelry, whether it be mini hoops or maybe like a cute little like dainty necklace. But yeah, so this is the final look. Comment below and let me know what you thought. And if you want any other types of videos, definitely let me know and I'll create them for you. Okay, bye guys. And that's a wrap.